uh, some of the visual components that make up the workbench in Eclipse. Now here you can see the workbench, some of the visual components that make up the workbench. The workbench provide an extensive set of classes and interfaces for building complex user interfaces. Fortunately, you don't need to understand all of them to do something simple. We will start looking at some concepts that are exposed in the workbench user interface and their corresponding structure under the covers. Workbench. We have been using the term workbench loosely to refer to that window that opens when you start the platform. Let's drill down a little and look at some of visual components that make up the workbench. For the rest of the discussion, when we use the term workbench, we will be referring to the workbench window. iWorkbench window. The workbench window is the top level window in a workbench. It is the frame that holds the menu bar, toolbar, status line, shortcut bar, and pages. In general, you don't need to program to the workbench window. You just want to know that it's there. Note, you can open multiple workbench windows. However, each workbench window is a self-contained world of editors and views. So we will just focus on single workbench window. From the user's point of view, the workbench contains views and editors. There are a few other classes used to implement the workbench window. Page, inside the workbench window, you will find one page, iWorkbench page, that in turn contains parts. Pages are an implementation mechanism for grouping parts. You typically don't need to program to the page, but you will see it in the context of programming and debugging. Perspectives. Perspectives provide an additional layer of organization inside the workbench page. A perspective defines an appropriate collection of views, their layout, and applicable actions for a given user task. Users can switch between perspectives as they move across tasks. From an implementation point of view, the user's active perspective controls which views are shown on the workbench page and their positions and sizes. Editors are not affected by a change in perspectives. Views and editors. Views and editors are where we move beyond implementation details into some common plugin programming. When you add the visual components to the workbench, you must decide whether you want to implement a view or an editor. How do you decide this? A view is typically used to navigate a hierarchy of information, open an editor, or display properties for the active editor. For example, Project Explorer view allows you to navigate to the workspace hierarchy. The properties and outline views show information about an object in an active editor. Any modification that can be made in a view, such as changing property value, are saved immediately. Editor. An editor is typically used to edit or browse a document or input object. Modification made in an editor follows an open save close model, much like an external file system editor. Platform text editor and Java editor are examples of Workbench editors. Here you can see a Workbench window, and here you can see the page, and here you can see the views and the here editor. So inside the workbench you can see page, menu bar, toolbar. So views and editor are inside the page. Now this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching it.